This is a tour of Newmindcenters' Alpha Theta Synchrony design for BioExplorer. This is for P3, P4, and intended for use for Alpha Theta training, Alpha Synchrony training, Theta Synchrony training, or any combination of those. We're looking at P3 and P4 in the oscilloscope. P3 is above, P4 is below. Spectrograph, P3 is left, P4 is right. And we have 3 windows within each of these. This is dominant alpha, averaged over the first minute and locked in as a baseline. This is current dominant alpha, current dominant beta for P3. For P4, the other side, current dominant beta, current dominant alpha, and dominant alpha baseline. To the right of that, at the bottom, we have amplitudes for delta and beta. As people start to get relaxed into deeper states, there's a tendency for people who have less experience with that to start to fall into sleep. If delta starts to rise, there is a little alarm sound to help pull them back. On the other hand, if they're thinking too much, we don't want to. We want to help them relax and let that go. So if beta starts to get too high, there's a nice chime that I usually introduce people to at the beginning. If you hear that, that means we caught you thinking. Let go, relax. And so you can set those are completely manual. You can set them where you like to help keep that client in the zone. Above that, we have theta and alpha coherence. So at this point, we can see that theta coherence is sitting at about 90%. Alpha is about 92%. So the thresholds are in a good spot for this. If we want to change that, if we want to update those thresholds automatically, hit reset, they'll go back and average out again for a minute in automatic mode, and then we'll switch back to manual, and you can adjust them again as you please. Above that is phase angle. So we're measuring synchrony as phase accuracy and coherence. So coherence is here. This is phase accuracy. So we're looking for a specific phase angle. We're saying between plus 30 and minus 30 degrees is rewarded. So that's this light here is alpha. Is the phase angle of alpha is between positive 30 and negative 30 degrees. If the box above it is lit, that means it's between plus 30 and plus 60, and then the box above that is plus 60 and above, minus 30 to minus 60 and below. So that's for alpha, and then the other side is for theta. The idea is to keep these boxes lit, keep that phase angle narrow, at the same time having a coherent signal. So when these two are active together, when coherence is above threshold here and this box is lit, then we're calling that synchronous alpha. Right now all we're training is alpha synchrony. We're not training theta synchrony. So when these two are active, when we get a yes from both of these, we're calling that synchronous, and the reward then is the heartbeat drum. Okay? When we decide to add theta synchrony training at the same time, then all 4 of these must be lit in order to get the synchronous drum beat. Okay, so the idea then is for someone to keep that drum going. There are binaural beats built into this. There are 2 binaural beat generators built into this design. They are more than an octave apart, each of the generators, so there's no problem with going down. If you want to do a generator at 7.8 and a generator at 8, there's no problem with interference there. So set those where you like. They come standard at 10 hertz and 7.8 hertz. What you're seeing bobbing up and down there is the dominant frequency. So that you can sort of see where that's playing around. If you want to turn the beat section off, that's easy enough. Just click it, and no binaural beats. So if we're training with these 2 off, so alpha synchrony and theta synchrony, if both are off, we're training purely alpha theta. So the nature sounds are going off of the alpha theta ratio here. So in a theta state, then you're hearing the ocean. In an alpha state, you're hearing rain. So this is a nice crossover here. He's hanging out there quite a bit. So he's getting the surf sound. And if we add the synchrony training back, then we're looking at alpha coherence plus phase angle being in this box, and then he gets the drum beat. Theta coherence can be trained at the same time, or that can be also be turned off. Right. Just like the alpha theta design, 7 to 8 hertz is a big target. So there's a specific sound file that's created or that's controlled by the amplitude of 7 to 8 hertz, and that's this vocal sound. So now the client is navigating, knowing that the rain sound is an alpha state. We want to shift down and get into a fast theta or slow alpha state of 7 to 8 hertz. So the idea is make the voices louder and hear the ocean at the same time. If we turn alpha synchrony training back on, now we're training alpha theta plus alpha synchrony. So now the idea is make the voices loud, listen to the ocean, and get the drum sound, the heartbeat. So once again, an eyes closed protocol that's audio intensive, best to be used at least with desktop, external multimedia speakers. If you've got something nicer, it's a very pleasant thing. And when you add in theta synchrony as well, it's a little bit more difficult to score, so you might want to bring your coherence thresholds down a little bit, what you're requiring of that. So now we're training theta synchrony, alpha synchrony, and alpha theta simultaneously.